shoplifting, drug dealing, and assault. Most of them have an alcohol or drug abuse problem. Most of them have children.
Right before I came in, I was in a really bad way. I was a heroin addict and pretty close to death. It was bad. And I was tired of that, and I kicked, and that was hell. And I knew that if I went back out there, that I might not make it, you know, very much longer. So I knew that I had to do something. And that's what brought me to the stages of change. And at first I tried to lie, I tried to kid, you know, because I was afraid. I was afraid to uncover things within myself that I've been running from all my life. But they just kept persevering, and, you know, and finally I just became not submissive, but I surrendered. It was exciting to me to keep finding all these new things about myself. But yet I still had some issues, you know, and I still have some issues that need to be addressed, and they have to be addressed by me and only me. And when I went, I was chosen by the staff to go to the coming out ceremony for the men. And a couple of the men I knew from the streets, and they were what they consider themselves soldiers, you know. And I couldn't believe the change that I had seen and you know, from that moment, I knew that I wanted to do this.
Hour after hour, though they sat together, each woman fought her own separate battle. The course was no less difficult for them than it was for the men. The challenge of remaining detached and balanced, despite the intensity of the experience, at times seemed overwhelming.
I saw dramatic results in the inmates that participated in the meditation. I saw honesty. I saw these residents being honest about themselves. I saw them being very open and also not bothered by the rules. The rules were okay. You know, everything was just, and I don't mean they were all tranquil. I don't mean that. They weren't necessarily tranquil. They were just okay with stuff. The security staff was here for a reason. The rules were here for a reason. That was what made me see that there was some real change there. Because some of these people were behavior problems before they went into meditation. They weren't when they came out.
Almost to a man, there was something behind their eyes that you couldn't get in. There was like this curtain hanging. And then when the course was over, you could see inside. I can't say what the course did for each of them for the rest of their lives, but in 10 days, you could see inside them. They were there. You could see that they were there, whereas before they weren't there. You couldn't see them. And I really think that the women will be able to do that too, particularly the women we got going through the course this time. I think that that to be able to see them is going to be really marvelous.
There was a wager among some security staff over how many women would actually complete the course. No one bet on all 7. But on the 10th day, when course participants can break their silence, 7 women residents emerged, successful. Yet despite all appearances, these were not the same women that started the course a week and a half earlier. There was something perceptibly different about them. Maybe it was that you could see them now, and they could see themselves.
I love myself today. I do.
Kind of an unusual feeling.
That's a wonderful feeling. And these tears are really tears of happiness, they really are. because a woman that I was in battle with all my life. And I've learned to love her today. And it feels wonderful. And Vipassana did that for me. And I was really kind of fearful. But the things that came up for me were not the things that I was fearing would come up. Or maybe because of the technique involved, I was able just to really handle it, you know. And it was things that I've been running from all my life. And it was just right there in my face, and I had to look at it, observe, you know, and let it go. And I've been able to do that. And it really, I mean, there's such a peace and such a weight lifted. I can't tell you.
And all my counselors, anyone I've ever have talked to, has always said, Carol, you're in your head, you know, get inside. And so last time I was here and in my sobriety, I've really tried to work on that. And this was, you know, definitely an experience where you're inside, you're feeling the sensations. When I get into a tense situation, even just within the dorm, when situations, I've come in a couple of confrontations with people, and it's like, okay, how am I really feeling? What's going on inside? Where's, you know, the heart's beating faster? Just real conscientious of that. So when I get in those situations on the outside, I know that it'll all pass. In '94, I had my dad and my sister pass away 6 days apart. Since then, I felt just, there's been a lot of pain, a lot of sadness, a lot of guilt. A lot of wondering, you know, why, questions, just, and then just things about me. And I've really, you know, when I was here last time, I did a lot of grief work, and that was very beneficial to me. And it just so happens that tomorrow, March 7th, my dad would have turned 75 years old if he was still here. So this is kind of it's been real spiritual for me as well, because I know that this is, he'd be very proud.
My name is Velma Waina. I felt overwhelmed, you know, over everything that happened. You know, I mean, I felt so many feelings, negative and positive, and it changed me. It really did. I mean, when I first came to jail, you know, I mean, it was just like any other time that I came to jail. You know, I mean, when this time's over, you know, I can't wait to get back outside, because when I get back outside, I'm gonna go back and do the same thing, you know. But before I go on, you know, with more, I wanna tell my mom, you know, how grateful I am that she's here with my son and her husband, and I'm really grateful that he brought me into this world, and I'm happy that I'm alive today, you know. I really am. I mean, God, you know, before I thought, man, I mean, when I was, you know, out getting high and drinking, you know, I mean, I thought that's the way to die, you know. I mean, this is the way I'm gonna die, you know. I'm gonna die of overdose, I mean, because that's the way it was, you know. I mean, you never thought about how good life could be. When I went through this course, that's what, you know, it made me look at, that you could get through them bad times. You don't have to, like me, I didn't have to go out and use drugs or go out and get drunk or just go out and do whatever.